My name is Natalie Cross. I am 41 years old. The nurse adjusted the IV in my arm and said it quietly, almost apologetically. Your family went on vacation. They'll be back next week. I didn't answer. I just stared at the ceiling of the ICU. Tubes in both arms, oxygen burning my throat, heart monitor beeping beside me like the only thing in the world that still checked on me. My phone was face down on the tray, untouched for 3 days. No missed calls, no texts, not even a single "Are you alive?" And somewhere on a beach, my family was posting sunset photos with drinks in their hands. #finally relaxing. I closed my eyes, and something inside me went very still. Not broken, not angry, just decided. People in Columbus called us a close family. Mom, Patricia, the kind of woman who cried at weddings but never at hospitals. Gerald, quiet, checked out, the man who perfected the art of being present without actually being there. My brother Dennis, loud, charming, always between jobs, always between excuses. And me, Natalie, the responsible one, the fixer, the backup plan. I paid the mortgage every month for 6 years. My name on the deed, my account on the auto pay, my hands that refinished the hardwood floors, my weekends replacing old pipes and broken wiring. They called it our house, like the word "our" was payment enough. I had collapsed on a Tuesday morning. Kitchen floor, cold tiles, couldn't breathe. The ambulance came in 8 minutes. My family took 4 days to post a beach check-in. By the time I was moved out of intensive care, my brother had already gotten a tan. On the 4th night, a nurse leaned close and whispered, "You shouldn't be alone right now." I almost laughed, because I wasn't alone. I had something better than company. I had clarity. 2 weeks later, I signed my own discharge papers. No one came to pick me up. I took a taxi home, walked through the house slowly. Every room, every corner I had fixed, every wall I had painted, every pipe I had replaced at midnight so the family could shower in the morning. I sat at the dining table, opened my laptop, and I began to plan. The realtor picked up on the second ring. "I want a fast sale, furnished, as is." She paused. "Is your family aware?" I smiled at the phone. "They're unavailable." While my family sipped cocktails and collected likes on Instagram, strangers were walking through the living room, admiring the floors I refinished myself, testing the faucets I fixed myself, falling in love with the house I had protected alone for 6 years. The offer came in clean, full price, no contingencies. I signed without flinching, wired the proceeds into a new account. Then I booked a one-way ticket, not far, just far enough. They landed on a Sunday. I know because my old neighbor, Mrs. Delaney, called me, her voice low like we were in a spy movie. "Natalie, they're here. 6 suitcases. Your mom is yelling at the Uber driver." I thanked her and hung up. Standing quietly by the ocean in Key West, a cold drink in my hand, my legs still weak but steadier than they had felt in years. The first call came 2 hours later. "Mom, Natalie, what's wrong with the lock? My key isn't working." I watched the waves, said nothing. Then Dennis, voice cracking with fury. "What the hell did you do? Our stuff is gone. The realtor said you sold the house." I let him finish. Then I hung up.
Their lawyer called next. "Your family is pursuing legal action. They claim the house was communal property." I forwarded him one document, a notarized deed transfer, signed by every single one of them, 5 years ago when they handed me full ownership under the belief I was holding it for safekeeping. I hadn't forged anything. I hadn't stolen a single dollar. I had simply let them forget what they signed. And now, standing on a sidewalk with sunburns and suitcases, they were finally reading the fine print. 6 years too late. By Monday, they had found the listing. The house was sold, the furniture was at auction, and my family was standing in the driveway filming TikToks like disaster victims. Mom fake crying behind her sunglasses, Dennis pacing red-faced on the lawn, my aunt telling anyone who would listen that I was mentally unstable. My cousin tagged me in the comments. "She's not family, she's a traitor." I screenshotted everything, not because I was angry, because I already knew what was coming next, and I wanted receipts. Here is what they never knew. While I was in the ICU, I wasn't just surviving, I was remembering. Every vacation they took on my credit card, every ATM withdrawal in cities I had never visited, every wire transfer I covered while they called me the responsible one, like it was a compliment instead of a job description. I had kept every record, every receipt, every statement. 2 months before I collapsed, I had a quiet meeting with a tax attorney, the kind who doesn't blink when you say, "fraud investigation." Turns out, listing yourself as a dependent while draining someone else's accounts for 6 years creates a very specific kind of paper trail. The IRS letter went out on a Friday. By Saturday morning, their accounts were frozen, and I was on a beach in Santorini, barefoot in the sand, watching my son collect seashells, sipping something cold under the sun. Not because I was trying to win, because I had finally stopped paying for people who never saw me as anything more than a resource. They tried everything after that. First, the threats. "We'll sue, we'll expose you, we'll tell everyone what we did." Then the guilt. "We raised you, this is how you repay us?" I'd heard those lines before, when I was 11 and forgot to stir the soup, when I was 15 and didn't iron Dad's shirts fast enough, when I was 22 and paid every bill, but not with a big enough smile. This wasn't new, it was just louder now, and I had stopped turning up the volume for people who refused to listen. The club country revoked their membership for missed dues, the car payments bounced, their phone lines went quiet, their reputation, the one they had polished for 30 years at dinner parties and Sunday church, began unraveling by the hour. And me, I was watching my son laugh at the ocean, building something that didn't require anyone's permission or anyone's approval or anyone's signature on a deed they forgot they signed. One final message came from my mother. "You have embarrassed this family for the last time." No remorse, no apology, just control slipping. I didn't reply. I just texted the new owners of the house. "Keys are under the mat. Welcome home." And I blocked every number attached to my past. They always said I would be nothing without them. Turns out they were nothing without me. The daughter who cooked and cleaned and paid and smiled and swallowed every insult with silence. She didn't survive the ICU. I did. And the woman who walked out of that hospital rewrote every single line of the story they had assigned her. No screaming, no confrontations, no begging to be seen, just strategy, patience, precision. When my old phone buzzed with one last email, a desperate apology wrapped in excuses, I didn't even open it. I deleted it, permanently. Then I looked at my son, and I smiled, because walking away wasn't the end of my story, it was the first page of the real one. If this story gave you strength today, like and subscribe, comment your country below, and share this with someone who is still waiting for people to see their worth. New story every week.